What's up, guys? I had somebody ask me what was power in this van back here in the back, and the power supply that I've got running everything back here is actually on a Jackery 500. I was going to use it just for testing purposes, doing my wiring system, and it actually works so good. And it keeps you from having to have like charge controllers and everything that I don't think I'm going to replace it. But this first switch here is turning the power to this box off and on, because I didn't want this box to just sit here and be hot all the time. So I put the incoming power on this first switch. And then of course, the second one there is lights, like the main lights. And then there's one light above me. It would kind of be over the little kitchen spot here. Those are going to be the remote control lights over the bed and the entertainment center. And this last one lights up these USB ports and 12-volt sockets. There'll be one here for like an exhaust fan or something, for a coffee pot if you want to plug that in at the stove area. And there's also another one under the base of the bed there that's going to also be the entertainment center. And up on top is a 100-watt Renogy panel that is supplying the power to this Jackery box that's back here. It's a Jackery 500, and you can see that it's at 100%. And it's saying just everything that I have plugged in right now is pulling 2 watts, which I found that's kind of inaccurate, because even when I don't have anything plugged in, it's been setting with the power supply turned on for 24 hours, and it's not even dropped 1 watt. So I don't know, maybe this is using some wattage or something, and my outside power supply is not really using very much. But I've noticed when I've had like up to 50 watts I've had plugged in here at a time, and so that would kind of tell me that this 500 watt box would run this for about 10 hours at 50 watts, but it's actually went longer than that. So the reading might be slightly inaccurate on these. I leave the DC port and the USB port on all the time because that's what's running the van. I've actually ordered some DC ports for these jacks right here, but they haven't come in yet. That way I can free up this socket back here in the back if I needed it. I leave those on all the time. It never runs down. I have the capabilities of shore power charging it. It's plugged into the solar panel right now. I just plugged that up. And also I can run it off the van while the van's running. I'll charge it. This is I think it's like a 500 watt sine or 300 sine wave in there that, you know, you maybe could use some small power tools out the back of the van, or charge up a laptop or something like that, or, you know, charge some other power tools or devices, cameras, that sort of thing. But right now it's saying pulling 2 watts, and efficiency back here starts with the beginning of the build. You know, I picked a lot of energy efficient devices to go in here, like the lights and everything barely pull any juice at all, but they're more than enough to light it up in here. The fan is really, you know, really efficient. The sink is hand pumped. The stove runs off of gas. Everything that I could do manual, I chose to do manual to preserve what power supply that I did have. But I'll go up here and turn all these lights on, and you can kind of see now. This is every bit of power in the van on at one time. And if you can, I don't know if you can see that very well, but we'll try. Yeah, right now it's saying it's pulling 10 watts which that's like, if it went by the numbers, the 500 watts, 500 watt hours, actually I think there's 518 watt hours in this box. At 10 watts, I mean, it's gonna run this thing for a long time. It's like 50 hours or something. You know, and I've noticed because it's a 100 watt input panel, I can't run this thing down. I could leave everything on 24/7, and it's, you know, the panel at 100 watts is about 80% efficient, so it puts about 75 watts in here when the sun is like perfect. And you know, you're putting in 75 watts and using 10, you're never going to run that down. I mean, it's just going to stay full all the time. I can also charge it at the van. The van charges it about 75 watts too. Because there used to be an air unit back here in the back, and I took that air unit power supply because it was connected to the fan switch in the front of the van. I took it and I hooked it in to the power supply back here. That way I could charge it with the van just by turning the fan switch on up front. So yeah, you know, if you're looking to go solar in a small setup, man, something like this Jackery is perfect. It's plug and play. It doesn't require any charge controllers. It kind of really dumbed it down for you because all the technical stuff is inside this box. And Jackery makes their own solar panel, but it's about $300 compared to $100. And the Renogy makes an adapter, or you know, that'll fit this. There are adapters out there you can get to fit this. So really, you could probably charge it with any panel as long as you don't exceed, you know, what this box can do. And still it limits it. You know, it'll kick it off. I've had stuff wired up backwards and plugged it in here, and it would just kick the box off. So, you know, and then you turn it, or you know, fix your issue or whatever, and then turn it back on and plug it in. Everything works fine. I mean, I've been blowing sawdust on this thing. I mean, I know it's not good for it, but I've been keeping all the vents and everything clean. I mean, it's just a really good investment if you're doing a small solar setup. And they make them smaller. They make, you know, if you want to put one in a tent or whatever, just to run a fan. You know, they make like a 120, like a 260 or something. There's a 500, there's a 1500. I actually think they're working on a 2000. They may even already have it done now, but that's a heck of a lot of power.